Hi, it's Mark from Top Local. We're here with Bernie Pawlik, Pawlik Automotive in Vancouver. 16-time winners of Best Auto Repair in Vancouver as voted by their customers. How you doing, Bernie?
Doing very well.
So we're going to talk about a 2010 VW Golf and something about the automatic transmission fluid. What's going on with this vehicle?
So this vehicle is actually equipped with a DSG transmission, and the DSG stands for direct shift gearbox. It's a sort of a hybrid between a standard transmission and an automatic, trying to incorporate the best of both worlds. I mean, the difference between the DSG versus a pure automatic or standard is it uses clutches, but there's no clutch pedal. You just put it in drive like an automatic, and away you go. Or you can shift it manually like a standard transmission, although it doesn't have the same kind of stick. You either just push a lever back and forth on the gear shifter, or they come equipped with paddle shifters on most cars. So those are kind of the differences. Now, what's different is the transmission uses clutches. It actually uses two of them, and it actually has sort of two gearboxes built into one. To be honest, I've never seen the inside, but I'm looking forward to the day when I do, because it's probably pretty cool. But it basically, one transmission has first, third, and fifth gear, and the other will have second, fourth, and sixth gear on a 6-speed. They have six and 7-speed models, and the reverse is on one of the two transmissions. And so what'll happen is it'll already have pre-selected, say you're starting off on the road, it'll have already pre-selected second gear, but it hasn't engaged it yet. The first gear is ready to go, so as soon as you accelerate, it engages the clutch in first gear, and away you go. And when it's ready to shift into second gear, it's already made the shift. It just has to change the two clutches from one to the other. So the gear shifts are very fast, and that's the advantage. Apparently, they can do upshifts in 8 milliseconds, which is 8,000th of a second. So that is like really, really quick. And that's a lot quicker than an automatic can do. There's also some advantages. The disadvantage of an automatic is you have your torque converter, which creates some slippage. So there's always a bit of slippage in an automatic transmission. So in a way it's automatic, but it's got the best of both worlds. It's standard and automatic. And I'd say more complex. Although I haven't seen the inside, but just putting two transmissions into one with hydraulically actuated clutches, it's got to be expensive.
So is there something unique about the fluid that this kind of pretty complex piece of machinery is going to use to be able to shift in 8 milliseconds and live with all that, complexity and make it work properly for a long time?
Absolutely. So Volkswagen has they have a scheduled service interval at 40,000 miles, which I think is about 70,000 kilometers, and they have that right in their maintenance schedule. In the past, a lot of auto manufacturers have been a little glib with their transmission fluid recommendations, like automatics. They say, "Oh, it's filled for life. Don't worry about it," which is, I know we've talked before, which is a bunch of BS. But with this one, they're very specific. Change the fluid every 40,000 kilometers. So when they say to do it, they're pretty serious on it. They know stuff will go wrong. So it is a special fluid. You have to use a special. It doesn't have to be by Volkswagen, but there's a very special fluid made for this transmission. The service also consists of replacing a filter. So you do the filter, you change the fluid, and that is basically what needs to be done. So, with anything, there's a lot of expensive parts inside. You don't want it to wear out. You want it to work reliably for a long time.
So again, we had to switch computers this morning, so we don't have any pictures. But this was a fluid replacement on a 2010 VW Golf. Was there anything particular about this vehicle that you wanted to mention today?
Well, not really about the Golf. I think we're just talking about the DSG service in general. Just a little history of background on the transmission. I mean, it came out in 2003, so you'll find it on some models way back then, and it's a Volkswagen Audi uses it. So you'll find it in various Volkswagen Audi models, anywhere from sort of the mid-2000s up right until current. We just did a service last week on a 2015 GTI with a DSG. So there's it varies between car to car, and it just made me realize I said 70,000 Ks, but it's actually 60,000 Ks. So since we're in Canada, that's the way I should be thinking. So that's the way our odometers work.
Yeah. So, and how are VWs on the whole these days?
I think they're really good. I mean, obviously they suffered quite a blow with their TDI, and you know, rightly so. I mean, they were dishonest with the public. Shouldn't be that way when you're selling a car and advertising it to be a certain way. But I mean, there's really nothing wrong with the TDI other than that it puffs, you know, puts out a lot more pollution than it's supposed to. But I mean, the performance is good. The reliability in Volkswagens is really a lot better these days. 10, 15 years ago, I wouldn't have recommended one. You know, there was just too, like their automatic transmissions had problem after problem, super expensive to repair, and they died at a very young age. So, you know, those are just some of the things: electrical problems, power windows, a lot of things. These are the things we used to see, but they seem to be quite reliable these days. So I think they've really upped their game, and hopefully they'll survive the TDI, you know, and I'm sure they will, and come through and make an honest product for the public. But the reliability is good.
Well, so how's the reliability on the DSG transmission, given that you were maintaining it on a regular basis, changing that fluid every 60,000 kilometers regularly?
Well, to be honest, I don't really know. We haven't seen a bad one yet. I haven't seen too many of these on a high mileage vehicle, so I don't really know what their longevity is. But I would say that based on the complexity, I mean, that kind of stuff always scares me. You know, when I think about what you could be spending on fixing something like this, I mean, I would imagine that a rebuild on the transmission like this has got to be $6,000 to $10,000. So changing fluid, the service is about, off the top of my head, it's like somewhere in the $300 range to do a service. So it's not particularly cheap, but certainly not anything more than a modern automatic with synthetic fluid to do a proper flush service. It's cheaper. So every 60,000 kilometers is really cheap insurance. But certainly when things go wrong, there will be expensive repairs. Just change the fluid and you'll get the best life out of it you can.
All right, so if you have a VW with a DSG or Audi with a DSG and you need service, the guys to call are Pawlik Automotive in Vancouver. You can book ahead at 604-327-7112 or check out their website, pawlikautomotive.com. Years of videos on there, great amounts of information that's really trusted from a trusted advisor who really knows and works on cars, not just driving around on a brand new car all the time. Someone you can really trust. Thanks, Bernie.
Thanks, Mark.